everyone. Good afternoon or good morning, wherever you're tuning in from today. Thank you so much for carving out some time to be here. I know how much you juggle every single day, and taking time for a webinar is not always easy. So, just a couple of quick things before we dive in. Please pop any questions you have into the Q&A box as we go. Feel free just at any point. You can see that at the bottom of your screen. And we'll definitely save time at the end to get to as many questions as possible. And a recording of today's session will be sent out to everyone who registered. So no worries if you want to hop off early or if you want to be able to share it with your team. And I'm really excited about our topic today, how modern healthcare reputation management fuels growth from the inside out. So if everybody's ready, we will get this party started. My name is Lauren Lawson. I'm Senior Solutions Marketing Manager here at Raider8. And in my role, I have the privilege of talking with practice administrators, marketing leaders, executives, and patient experience managers from practices just like yours, day in and day out. And if there's one thing I hear consistently, it's that you pour your heart and soul into providing incredible patient care. Your teams are dedicated, but sometimes it just feels like all that hard work and genuine compassion isn't reflected in your online reputation. And we all know that that one unhappy patient can sometimes feel like they have a much louder voice online than 10 happy ones, which is incredibly frustrating when and it feels like your online presence doesn't tell the full accurate story of who you are and the amazing care that you're providing. So a lot of you might think that reputation management is just about collecting reviews or maybe putting out fires. But today I'm going to challenge that idea. We're going to dive into how a modern approach to reputation management isn't just an external marketing task, but a powerful strategy that's going to help you fuel growth from the inside out. So let's get started. So we've kind of talked about why managing your reputation is critical, but if we're being honest, when most people think about online reputation management, they're thinking about retail or restaurants, and a traditional approach is more industry agnostic. But the crucial point is that healthcare is not the same as selling a latte. The stakes are profoundly different, and generic strategies completely miss the mark for medical practices. So why is that? Number one, in healthcare, it's high stakes. Patients are making critical health decisions, and trust is absolutely paramount. Number two, it's provider centric. An individual doctor's reputation often matters much more than the overall practice brand. I mean, if a patient is searching online and they get a referral for Dr. Smith and they go search Dr. Smith and they see 2 stars and 3 reviews, they're not going to keep researching. That's it. They've made their decision that this is not the doctor for me. They're not going to go seek out the location listing to see what's going on. That's it. So you can't just focus on the locations. And it's a fragmented landscape. Patients are searching across many unique healthcare directories, not just Google or Yelp. And it really goes beyond marketing. Your reputation reflects your core business viability, not just an ad campaign. So this is precisely why a more modern healthcare specific reputation management strategy is essential. It's a holistic approach that understands your world. It lets you collect internal feedback first, guiding patients to provide rich content. It balances reviews across all physician and location profiles on all relevant platforms. It's optimized for AI and everywhere patients are searching. And it uses patient feedback to build a better internal experience. So the problem, if you feel like you're struggling with this, it's not that you're not trying. It's just that typical tools are leaving you unsupported. But there is a better way designed specifically for you. So before we dig deeper into that strategy, I want to show you something really interesting. Like I said, I have the privilege of talking with practices just like yours all the time. I regularly conduct interviews with our clients to truly stay in touch and understand what you need so that we as a company can best be of service. And one question I frequently ask is, what are your goals? So, of the interviews I've done in the past year or 6 months and change, um, so what are their goals for 2025? Here's what they said. I made a little word cloud for us to kind of visualize, took the transcripts from the answers to those questions. And what you'll see right away are words like new, patient, expand, location, and independent. And these aren't just buzzwords, they are the real world ambitions of practices like yours across the country. And I just think it perfectly illustrates something really important because while new patients is often the biggest goal, there's clearly several interconnected paths to growth for medical practices. You can see here expand locations, recruiting physicians, increase cataract surgeries, expand market. It's all there. And ultimately, these goals boil down to two things: increasing revenue or reducing overhead. And knowing these shared goals is powerful, but usually the path to achieving them is met with significant challenges. So let's turn our attention to some of the more common roadblocks that can stand in the way. So the follow-up question I always ask in these interviews, so what are your goals? And then what is the barrier to the success? What's standing in your way of achieving these goals? And there were really just four main consistent themes that came roaring back. And it was so consistent that I have to imagine that you're all feeling this pain too. Um, and so these are some of the most common roadblocks that we heard about. So first, eroding patient trust. And this is not just a soft metric. It is a direct hit to your ability to grow because when trust takes a hit, your growth engine sputters. It's that simple. Patients just are far less likely. They're harder to win and they're even harder to keep around. Next is the absolute gut punch combo of soaring costs and shrinking margins. Medical costs are rising, reimbursements are declining. Hear it all the time. And this starves your ability to expand, upgrade, or even just breathe. Every strategic move becomes a budget nightmare. And then the elephant in every room, the challenge impacting your daily operations, the caregiver crisis. It's not just a clickbaity headline, it is your reality, and it's creating constant pressure on your team. And finally, just the daily frustrations that hold you back, operational inefficiencies. These are the clunky systems, the time sinks, and the constant small battles that really weigh you down over time. So you can see these significant roadblocks. And now let's talk about the vital paths to growth that these very roadblocks are keeping you from achieving. So the eroding patient trust directly impacts your ability to succeed with patient acquisition and retention. You can't bring new people in or keep existing ones if trust is missing. Soaring costs and shrinking margins are actively preventing your market and service expansion. Without financial flexibility, expanding your reach is nearly impossible. And the caregiver crisis is the main barrier to successful physician and staff recruitment and retention. You can't grow your practice if you're constantly fighting to keep your team together. And then those daily operational inefficiencies are actively preventing the crucial technology and operational enhancements that could free up your team and improve patient flow. It's like running with weights on. And these are very real, very common walls standing between you and your ambitious goals, and you are not alone in battling these. But here is the powerful shift that I want us to make. So we here at Rate genuinely believe that a modern healthcare specific reputation management strategy is not just another thing to add to your list. It's a potent tool designed to dismantle these very roadblocks and clear the path for sustainable growth. So let's dive into exactly how it does that. So we've acknowledged your goals and the real roadblocks. Now let's look at the solution. This is a powerful, continuous cycle driven by patient feedback that impacts all of your growth levers. And so first, let's look at visibility. This directly addresses your goal of new patients and the concerns of eroding trust. The truth is, the patient search landscape is incredibly fragmented. I mean, just in my own family, everyone finds doctors differently. I am big in Google. I even search on Google Maps, which I probably shouldn't do. It's not just about who's near me, but that's genuinely, the way I like to go about it. Um, my uncle told me at Thanksgiving, this I cannot make this up. Uh, he was looking for a new provider and he had a referral and he looked that person up and they did not have a profile on health grades. So he decided that they weren't real. And so he went to someone else. I was like, what about like Google or all the others? He was like, nah, health grades is the one I trust. I was like, okay, good to know. Um, my cousin has become obsessed with ChatGPT. She uses it for everything. And my mom is obsessed with the AI overviews. She doesn't even scroll anymore. She just reads that and takes it at its word. Um, and my dad honestly just trusts whatever my mom tells him because the internet is not his thing. So if you're not showing up positively across all of these diverse search avenues, you're missing out on a massive percentage of potential new patients. So this strategy is going to ensure that your practice is visible exactly where patients are looking. And next is credibility. This is going to help you overcome patient trust issues as well and directly supports your goals to expand market and reach. So you can expand locations, launch new services, or introduce new physicians. Because if you think about it, if it's not online for many patients and for anyone today, it just doesn't exist. It really blew my mind. I moved into my most recent apartment and it was a brand new building and they were not listed on like Google Maps yet, which I didn't really think about until I tried to order food or order a Lyft car. And it was a huge problem every time because to them, I just was in an open field. And it just really showed me that like if it doesn't exist online, it just doesn't exist. Um, and the same thing applies to your new ventures. If patients don't see authentic first person testimonials about who you are, where you are, and what makes you special, they are likely to move on. Building this robust online proof allows you to launch new offerings with confidence and direct patients to the specific areas that you need them most. Moving on to efficiency. Excuse me. We constantly hear about operational friction. It is a very buzzy phrase, but it has a very real cost. And every point of friction, whether for a patient or an employee, can lead to added expense and frustration. But if you have a steady stream of patient feedback, you gain incredible visibility into what's truly happening within your practice. And that allows you to uncover and resolve issues quickly. For instance, one of our clients used their patient feedback to identify a major problem with missed appointments due to transportation issues. They had a more elderly population that was relying on insurance provided transportation, and it was just causing them to miss appointments. So they ended up implementing a new rideshare solution with Uber Health that completely solved the problem and even allowed them to track patients as they were coming in. They could see how far away they were. So without this direct patient feedback, they might have missed out on that entirely. And you could be missing out on simple ways to improve experiences and save money. And finally, culture. This is where reputation management truly builds from the inside out. We have so many clients tell us they use patient feedback to help reconnect their staff to their purpose. I mean, why they got into medicine in the first place. It's so easy to hyper focus on that one negative review, but overwhelmingly, patients leave positive feedback that helps providers feel like they're truly making a difference. And this strategy isn't about just about asking for reviews. It's a discipline that spans the entire practice because if your culture is struggling, if your employees aren't happy, that will inevitably impact patient experience and the reviews that they leave. It's about doing the internal work to ensure you're improving from the inside out, which naturally leads to better external representation. So, as you can see, these are not isolated points. They form a powerful continuous loop. Um, Efficiency builds a good culture, which builds good credibility, which builds higher visibility. And it's how patient feedback can become a central strategic asset for every growth goal that you have. So, we've outlined all the strategic pillars of modern healthcare reputation management. But what does that actually mean? So let's break down how this strategy fundamentally differs from what many of you might think is traditional or more generic online reputation management. For each of these key growth levers, there is a clear then and a now. So let's start with visibility. The then of traditional online reputation management was very broad. It, focused on strategies that work for any business, maybe just generic location listings or hyper focused on Google and Yelp. They weren't really taking AI into consideration, but that's simply not enough for healthcare anymore. And here's why. This illustrates it so well. There was a recent Bright Edge study found that over 80% of healthcare queries online results in an AI overview. Compare that to just 5% for restaurants, 4% for e-commerce, or even 24% for travel. It just makes it really crystal clear in healthcare, you cannot just concentrate on traditional SEO alone. You also have to start thinking about GEO. It's what we needed, right? Another acronym. That stands for Generative Engine Optimization, and it's a very real. It's becoming very real. So, what is the now of modern healthcare reputation strategy for visibility? It means proactively building a balanced reputation across all of your physician and location listings, plus all those crucial healthcare directories like vitals and health grades. And it also means having your content and your reviews optimized for AI-powered search and AI chatbots. And the AI focus is so crucial that we are actually going to take a quick detour. So stick with me. So quick detour. We just touched on visibility in the now of reputation management, and it really leads us straight into AI. It's truly fascinating how much AI is reshaping how patients look for and ultimately choose their healthcare providers, because this is not just a future concept. It is genuinely happening around us right now. And I know you've probably heard this from everyone at this point, and you probably have the same question we had, which is, okay, but how urgent is this really? Like, how many patients are really using AI to search for doctors? That's crazy town. So we decided to ask, and we surveyed 1,000 patients across the US about their usage of AI. And just take a look at this first stat. We find that 31% of patients are already using generative AI, things like ChatGPT or even Google AI overviews, just to research or compare providers. It's a pretty significant number. It shows how quickly patients are adopting these new ways of finding information. But honestly, the next one is what really got me and really took me by surprise. And that is that 52% of patients say they actually trust AI-generated search results as much as, or even more than, standard Google search results when they're choosing a doctor. Let that sink in for a minute. They trust AI as much or more than. That's highlighting a really big shift in where patients are placing their confidence, and it's a big deal about how we think about our online presence. And lastly, 57% of patients are willing to rely on AI tools that summarize and rank doctors based on online info. So patients are a lot more comfortable letting AI do some of the heavy lifting for them and acting as a powerful filter for them. So if your practice's positive story isn't easily understood by AI, it might not even make it into those summarized recommendations. And these numbers really help us see why ensuring your practice is AI ready, or what we call GEO for Generative Engine Optimization. Remember that good acronym, is so important for visibility. It's about making sure that your excellent care and your great reputation can be easily found and accurately presented by these powerful new tools. So this next slide is a lot on the eyes. So get ready. So we just saw the numbers. Patients are increasingly using, trusting, and relying on AI to find and rank doctors. This slide is the visual representation of why that's creating a whole new level of complexity for your practice. On the far left, you have your practice. Let's imagine this is pediatric ophthalmic consultants with multiple locations and excellent physicians. Your ultimate goal, of course, as pediatric ophthalmic consultants, is to connect with the patients and potential employees on the far right. For years, it's been complicated enough just to manage the middle layer. You've got Bing, Google, Apple Maps, Facebook, and then all the specific healthcare directories like Vitals and Health Grades and WebMD. And for employees, sites like Indeed and Glassdoor, and even patients are looking at sites like Indeed and Glassdoor these days. And every single one of your doctors, every location needs a presence across all these platforms. So just keeping up with that has been a full-time job for many of you. And now we have a brand new layer. Another barrier between you and your patients or employees. The AI models like Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, Copilot, and ChatGPT, and more, and growing every day. These AIs are constantly scouring all those middle platforms, pulling information, analyzing it, and then generating summaries or even direct answers. So, this means that your meticulously built online presence now has to get through these AI filters. And the AI isn't just presenting information, it is interpreting, summarizing, and potentially filtering your reputation before it even reaches the patient's eyes. So you now have to worry about whether AI is accurately representing your practice, or worse, if it's filtering you out altogether because you don't have the right comprehensive and easily digestible information online. So, this is the new reality of pervasive visibility. And to cut through this complexity and ensure that AI isn't filtering you out, your online presence needs to be impeccably strong and, crucially, appealing for these AI bots. And that leads us perfectly into the next pillar of our strategy: credibility. So, traditionally, online reputation management was almost entirely focused on getting a high star rating, which is important and remains important. And you might be keeping your reviews fairly current, responding to them, ensuring accurate listing info, and that's good hygiene. But the buck often stops there. So if you want to start showing up in searches for specific procedures, say knee replacement or cataract surgery, or if you need a new physician or location to hit the ground running, you need to build quality, keyword-rich reviews fast. We need to look past the star rating to the actual quality and content of the reviews, because patients and AI bots alike crave detail. You know, ratings without comments, or ratings that just say Dr. So and so is great, is nice, but it doesn't give a prospective patient the why behind those 5 stars, and it doesn't help them understand another patient's specific experience. And for patients, choosing a provider is incredibly high stakes health decisions. They are looking for every perspective. So this includes reviews on sites like even includes reviews on sites like Indeed and Glassdoor, which sounds crazy. That sounds absolutely crazy pants, but it's true. Um, More and more, especially of the younger generations, they're looking for any angle, and any angle that seems the most authentic and the most true. And so going to Indeed and Glassdoor almost feels like gaming the system. They're like, all right, I don't know if I trust these patient reviews. Let me see what their employees are saying. And it's just one more thing you have to worry about. And on top of that, AI bots are also scouring those sites for information. So a healthy internal culture reflected in positive employee reviews builds an undeniable layer of trust. And um, and so then next we have efficiency. So many businesses have a fairly standard set of customer experience questions, but healthcare has infinite variables to measure, and you need to be flexible in order to capture them. So traditional methods might give you an NPS score, which is great. It's a great overall score, but doesn't really let you double click into kind of understand specific issues that come up or provide the crucial context needed for healthcare data. So with a modern healthcare reputation management strategy, the focus is on pinpointing these areas of friction quickly and implementing change. You need flexible feedback tools with easy analytics that show you exactly what needs to be done and how. And this allows your workforce to focus on providing the best care possible rather than getting bogged down by operational inefficiencies. So, for instance, understanding why patients are missing appointments. It can lead to simple, effective solutions that save money and improve experience. And now, lastly, culture. This is honestly where traditional online reputation management misses the mark. Most traditional strategies are externally focused, building reviews, ensuring accurate listings. They might touch on reactive service recovery through review responses, but they generally don't help you build a better reputation from the inside out. And a more modern strategy fundamentally includes patient employee satisfaction as part of building your online reputation, because patient and employee feedback is gold. And if you're not getting a steady stream of it, you are flying blind. People can sometimes, forgive like an unhappy waiter at a restaurant, or a, cashier having a bad day. But when it comes to their health, emotions are incredibly high. And a patient in a single visit might interact with a front desk worker, a nurse, a technician, and a physician all in one visit. And an unpleasant experience with just one of those individuals could completely derail their perception and lead to a bad review. And obviously, as healthcare workers, you strive to provide excellent service 99% of the time, and you do. But that 1% often offers feedback, while the happy 99% will stay quiet unless they're prompted. So it's always important to know what went wrong so you can fix it. But it's also equally important to hear what's going well or what could be slightly improved. These are the little nuances you can miss without a steady stream of feedback that feeds your culture. Um, so the now is really about a proactive, nuanced, patient centric strategy that integrates with and improves every aspect of your practice, driving growth from the inside out. Are you sensing a pattern? It's intentional. So we dove deep into the complexities of AI acting as a new filter and how a modern strategy for visibility, credibility, efficiency, and culture differentiates you. And it can feel like there's a lot to navigate out there, but here's the really exciting part. AI is not just another barrier to worry about. In fact, when harnessed strategically, AI and data are powerful tools that can truly future proof your growth. They can help you save significant time, make data interpretation and fast and actionable, and ultimately lighten your load. So let's look at how. First, AI powered insights. You're collecting so much patient feedback, but manually sifting through thousands of comments to find actionable patterns is not impossible, but not pleasant. Um, and so AI can do that heavy lifting, allowing you to spot trends in patient feedback that you'd simply miss otherwise. Um, imagine quickly identifying if patients are consistently praising a certain front desk staff member, or if there's a recurring theme about wait times at a particular location. You don't want to miss out on that stuff. And so next we have automated review responses. We all know responding to every review is crucial for engagement and SEO, but it's incredibly time consuming. And AI can help you save significant time and effort here because it provides a starting point for personalized professional responses, ensuring you maintain that vital connection with patients without overwhelming your staff. It can even just do the job for you if you wanted to. And then you've got smart recommendations. This is about turning raw data into concrete actions because AI can analyze your patient feedback and operational data to give you smart recommendations that can help you improve operations. It's like having a consultant constantly analyzing your practice and pointing you to the most impactful changes. And finally, always on optimization. The digital landscape never sleeps. And AI can work in the background, continuously analyzing new feedback and online changes to help keep your online presence fresh and accurate. And this ensures your visibility and credibility are constantly being refined without constant manual oversight. So don't just view AI as another hurdle. It can even be an intelligent assistant. It's all about leveraging technology to make your practice smarter, more efficient, and more responsive, ultimately leading to more confident and sustainable growth. Okay, we've made it to the end. Thank you for coming with me on this journey. As we bring our time together to a close, I want to recap just the core ideas we've explored about how a modern healthcare reputation management strategy fuels growth from the inside out. Did you hear that call back to the title? Gold. These are key takeaways. I hope you will leave you feeling ready to put these insights into action. So, first up, growth is tough. Running a practice is incredibly demanding. But here's the powerful truth: feedback makes it easier. Think of patient and employee feedback as your practice's secret superpower. It's the direct data stream that helps you spot opportunities, pinpoint efficiencies, and confidently guide your path forward. And it literally smooths out those tough growth curves. And next up, AI is absolutely changing the game. We've seen how pervasive it's becoming in the patient search, and it's a significant shift. But instead of feeling overwhelmed, we can see this as an exciting opportunity. Just the message here is simple: prepare now. Embrace this as your chance to truly optimize your visibility and credibility in new, powerful ways. Third, and this has been a central thread today, reputation is so much more than stars. It's not just a number on a screen. It truly is a holistic, inside out strategy that touches every part of your practice. And when you view it strategically, it transforms from something you manage into a dynamic engine for sustainable growth. And finally, and perhaps the most encouraging thought of all, you already have the raw material: patient feedback. You don't need to invent anything new or chase after elusive data. Every single patient who walks through your doors, every experience that they have is generating invaluable feedback. It's about recognizing that treasure and simply learning how to consistently harness it to truly benefit your practice. So, as you step away from our conversation today, I really hope you feel inspired and energized and remember these powerful ideas. You're truly equipped to make growth easier, embrace the future with AI, build a reputation that's a strategic asset, and leverage the amazing feedback you already receive every day. Now, if all of this resonates with you and you're thinking, okay, I think I'm ready to turn these insights into action for my practice, then the next step is for you. We've talked a lot about the why and the how, and now it's taking that practical step to see how it applies directly to your practice. Um, some of you on the call are already working with us here at Rate 8, and I hope you learned something today about how to take your relationship with Rate 8 even further. Um, and you're just already ahead of the curve. For everyone who isn't, we just want to offer we want to make it incredibly easy for you to get started. You can get a free reputation monitoring dashboard, and this is not just a demo; it's a living dashboard that will show you exactly what your online presence looks like right now, and across all those platforms we discussed. And it's a fantastic way to gain immediate visibility into your current reputation. And once you have that, if you'd like, you can schedule a one-on-one strategy session with one of our team members. And this is a personalized conversation where we can dive into your specific practices, goals, and challenges, review what you're seeing in the dashboard, and brainstorm a tailored approach. It's about taking the concept from today's webinar and applying them to your unique situation. And ultimately, when you combine that immediate insight with a personalized conversation, it's going to allow us to truly help you turn patient feedback into growth. And to get your free dashboard and schedule your session, you can simply visit rater8.com/schedule demo, or you can find the link. Someone can post that in the chat box, or we'll be sending an email after the webinar as well. And so we're so genuinely excited about helping you unlock this potential. So thank you again for being with us today. And now I'm gonna open it up for questions. Does anyone have any questions about what we talked about today? You can use that Q&A box. And I'm just gonna have that open for a minute, see if anything comes through. Okay, let's see. So this is Angie from Santa Barbara said, the AI statistics were truly eye-opening. What does optimizing for AI look like for a medical practice right now, and where do we even start? Great question. And I know it's something that probably a lot of practices are wondering or avoiding altogether. And fundamentally, I mean, optimizing for AI means ensuring your online reputation is consistently rich with detailed, authentic, and keyword specific patient feedback. And I know that sounds like a lot of mumbo jumbo, but what that really means is, there's a couple things that we do here at Raider 8, and that, you can try and do on your own as well, but this is kind of the strategy we take. First off, a lot of the times people use our surveys and our reviews together, and I think just having those just 3 to 5 questions that they answer and have to think about before they go leave a review, because they're so quick and it's such an easy workflow, it doesn't prevent them from going to leave the review, and it primes them to leave a more thoughtful response. The other thing is we get to them quick because you can integrate with your EHR, and so we can get a review request out to a patient within the first 24 hours, and so that really helps as well because it's fresh in their mind, and they can really tell us about their experience, and so getting those really quality reviews are great. And then also something we provide here is what we call verified review listings. We essentially take your feedback and we put it into a listing that is sort of optimized for AI, built on structured data, to help you kind of appear more in AI overviews and chatbot searches, and then also testimonial widgets for your website that are also built on structured data and only show the most quality, high sentiment, it had to be at least 100 words or 100 characters, um, and 5 stars. So all of that can really help you out. And also, like we talked about, having a balanced reputation across all the directories and physicians and locations. Okay, so Samantha asked, if we already have another system that asks patients to write a review, will the patient receive multiple surveys if we use your service? That depends. In general, I think it is better, particularly if you're using, the reputation management feature of a more um, robust or a company that's focused on something else, like Frisia or some of these others that have reputation management bundled in, but it's not their main focus. A lot of times, we just find people have better success at just um, not using their version of reputation management and using someone like us that's more focused on reputation management solely. So there may be a way to make it so that the patient doesn't receive multiple surveys, but it's hard when you've got systems that don't fully talk to each other. But we've definitely worked in tandem with companies like Press Ganey or something that focus on patient surveys. Um, and so people, we've had people use maybe them for surveys and us for reviews or something like that. So it is a possibility, but I recommend going with the more targeted. Okay. Jenna says, wow, I already feel behind on AI utilization. Same. If we are already using Rater 8, is there something else we need to add on AI? How can we convince our doctors of the importance of these new technologies over old school physician referrals? That is an age-old question, and that is very real. So to answer the first part of the question, if you're already a Rater 8 customer, what you can do is make sure that you've got verified listings set up, verified review listings set up. So basically what this is it takes your the answers to the rate your provider question, and it puts them in a listing, a Rater 8 verified review listing that's built on structured data. And that structured data is what AI craves, because it's easy for them to read. And it's just basically speaking their language, and they can just gobble it up and use it in their overviews and in their answers. Our testimonial widgets are also built on that structured data, and you can add those to your website. And your client success manager can help you out with that as well. It should already, I mean, depending on which package you're on, it should already be included if you're on a professional package. Second question is convincing providers that this is important. This is something I hear all the time. So you're not alone. And the practices I've talked to that have had a lot of success, and I'm still sort of exploring this to find out more about people that have had success talking to providers, what worked. And what I've heard back from them so far is data, hard data, really showing why reviews make such a difference and why your online presence is so important. I know we have a patient report out there on our website that has a lot of data around the importance of reviews and how patients are actually searching. And then we're going to update that really soon with those AI stats that I showed you. And you'll get this presentation as well. But showing them that data, that hard data of like, look, this isn't something we can ignore. Patients are searching online. They're going to move on, even if they're referred by a family member or other physician. If they go search you and there's bad reviews, they're going to move on. That's the long and short of it. You're going to lose out on that referral. Because just because a patient is referred to someone doesn't mean they have to go to them. And that's something you see a lot, and it's reflected in that report. So to go to our website and check that out, and keep an eye on the update there with the AI stats. But those AI stats really took me by surprise. I did not expect that high. I mean, it's still sort of, a slight majority, but this early on and it's already got a slight majority and people are trusting it. That's huge. Okay. Any other questions? Um, okay, I'm happy to be here until um, the 45 if anyone wants to stay on, if anyone has any other questions. Okay, someone asked, we're always worried about negative reviews. What's the absolute best way to address a negative review while remaining HIPAA compliant? It always feels like such a minefield. Yeah, yeah, that's another tough one. I mean, and it's very common. I think the most important thing is to just never discuss protected health information publicly. That much you know. And I think your response just needs to be general, empathetic, and professional. Something like, we are truly sorry to hear you had a less than satisfactory experience. Your feedback's important to us, and we would appreciate the opportunity to address your concerns. Please contact us at, and then give a phone number or an email address. And the goal is just to show that you're listening and that you care and that you're committed to a resolution without disclosing any specifics. And generally, what we found was that, and I know part of the worry is around, if I just start asking, am I going to get nothing but negative reviews? And what we found is that 98% of patients leave positive reviews when prompted. So the more you ask, the more those negative reviews get buried. And when I say 98%, I mean 4 and 5 star reviews. So that remaining kind of one, I think I'm even rounding down. So like that remaining 1.5, 2% um, is a combination of 1, 2, and 3 star reviews. And they get buried by the 5 stars every time. All right, guys. Anything else? Any final questions? Okay. Well, I think we've covered it. Hopefully, this was super helpful. Thank you so much for joining today. Oh, thank you, Rachel. And yeah, it was so nice getting to chat with y'all. And feel free to find me on LinkedIn or reach out to us. Um, oh, Olivia says we are 2 weeks into Rate and it was the best decision we've ever made. Thank you so much, Olivia. Um, so nice chatting with you guys. And I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day.